So the newest Indiana Jones film may be in for big problems after 50 people were sent home after an outbreak. And apparently that's not the only outbreak that's going on with this set. Oh no, you have a beer bug outbreak too. Yeah, for all of those things that Hollywood had to say about this, for all of the videos they put together, for all of the fingers they're pointing, apparently they're not taking care of their own, they're not taking care of their crews. Says something, doesn't it? Now this could be especially bad, considering Harrison Ford, he just came off of surgery. He's 79 years old, and you already have people like Kathleen Kennedy talking about his replacement with other actors. Yeah, you and I were going to talk about this today. Crazy times, huh? Crazy times indeed. Oh man, so hey there to all you fine folks on this fine day, by the way. I hope you are doing excellently. One thing before we get started, we have a link at the top of the description that is for our new comic project coming up soon. Check that out, more on the end of the video, and thank you in advance. So as far as this new Indiana Jones project is concerned, it has had so many problems. I mean, it's hard to just break them all down. Most people, in fact, don't want a new Indiana Jones. I'm one of those people. I do not want to see a 79-year-old Indiana Jones. I don't want to see him handing off the franchise. But at the same time, when I see headlines like this is not something you would wish on anyone. In fact, I want to make sure that I say this. I hope everyone here is doing okay. Nothing but well wishes to folks. I mean, this is not the kind of headline that you want to see. This is coming from the Daily Mail, by the way. Indiana Jones filming, quote, is in jeopardy once again as up to 50 people are sent home after an outbreak. Now, as far as the reports on this go, and there are not a lot of reports on this as of yet, so if more information comes out, I'll let you know about updates. But as of now, Harrison Ford is not listed as one of the people that's impacted by this outbreak. Let me make that clear. Of the 50 people that were sent home, Harrison Ford is listed as okay. He is not one of the people they're saying has been sent home. Now, I legitimately hope that information is true. I mean, after all, we are talking about Harrison Ford here. This guy is the Indiana Jones brand. That's why there's been a lot of controversy as of late, which we'll talk about in just a moment, because people have been trying to replace him, or at least they're talking about that. I do worry about this, though. Why? Because this information is coming out about a Disney product. Disney, they like to control information like this. In fact, they will go out of their way to spin information so it doesn't just worry customers, it also doesn't worry backers. They don't want their financial backers to actually get scared by something like that. And again, remember, this guy is the Indiana Jones brand. Without him, you don't have an Indiana Jones 5. There are already numerous articles on the subject of backer trepidation, too. I mean, if you look at this right here, for example, you could see why. You have Harrison Ford get injured on the set of Indiana Jones. He requires shoulder surgery. Again, the man is 79 years old. He's expected to bounce back. He's expected to be able to give his all in a movie. That sets the movie back by 3 months. And well, now you have yet another delay. Now, when I saw this initially, by the way, I kept thinking, well, at least it's not the beer bug, right? You would have totally different articles. You would have a totally different mindset approaching it. But then I saw what the source had to say. Apparently, this is an outbreak combined with a beer bug outbreak. So apparently, for all of the stuff that Hollywood has to say, for all of the finger pointing and saying, you know, this needs to happen from celebrities, you have sets like Indiana Jones 5 that are plagued with that problem and other problems, and apparently they're not doing anything about it at all. So here's what the source had to say. Quote, the crew has been dropping like flies. That is not a descriptor you want with anything, by the way. There are a lot off with the beer bug, so it's been a double whammy. 2 films have been affected. When they say 2 films, they're talking about Indiana Jones 5. They're also talking about Ant-Man. That was listed in articles, too. But over 50 people have been struck down, but luckily, that doesn't include the big stars. You notice that as plural stars. Now, maybe it's it's just me, but I find this information to be rather disconcerting. I mean, if you look at Harrison Ford, he does not look healthy. You look at this, he just came back from shoulder surgery. He's 79 years old. You have him out doing God knows what. And look at his face. I mean, again, he doesn't look like he's doing well. And I mean that with love, by the way. I mean that with concern. He doesn't look well at all. Now, the replacement talk about Harrison Ford, I mean, I think that backs up what I'm saying here, too. You see these headlines right here with Phoebe Waller-Bridge lined up to quote-unquote replace Harrison Ford in Indiana Jones. Now, why would you do that exactly? I mean, if you're Disney and you want to print money from Indiana Jones, obviously, you want Harrison Ford in it. The only problem is, again, Harrison Ford is 79. He has had major health problems while you're filming this. He's not going to be able to do many more of these movies. Not this type of movie, especially when you're talking about action and on. They still want a license to print money. They still want this to go forward. They still want it to work. I think this is a terrible idea, by the way. Replacements like this, they are cheap. You don't want this. You might as well just retire the franchise. But they're telling you, again, Harrison Ford, he's not in a good place. We're worried about him being able to carry forward. And now they introduce him to not one outbreak, but 2 outbreaks, saying, yeah, that's not really that bad of a problem. Again, I find that to be rather concerning. See, every time I see this subject brought up, by the way, I see Kathleen Kennedy mentioned by sources. Here's a source talking to the Daily Mail about Kathleen Kennedy, saying that producer Kathleen Kennedy wants to make big, bold changes to the Indiana Jones franchise. And the source says, you know what? This would be a huge statement, by the way. Handing over the mantle. Yeah, it's a big statement. It's a statement that doesn't need to be made, by the way. It should have been shelved a movie ago. I would say that the last Indiana Jones movie never needed to be made at all. And having this out here at the point that you risk Harrison Ford's life, I mean, yeah, that's a big, bold change, all right, if something terrible happens. But what do I know, right? What do I know? I'm just watching this stuff make headlines. I'm just considering the fact that, again, the man is 79 years old. The man has health problems already, and they're risking him for such an irrelevant project. But anyway, let me know what you think about this stuff. As always, too, I appreciate the heck out of you. I'm going to end here because this is annoying me. But yeah, check out that link in the description. Like I was saying, that's for our new comic project. It is coming up rather soon. We need your help, too. We can either complain about things that companies do, or we can try to put out our own thing. This is us trying to do our own thing. We've done it twice already. Join us for our third go, and thank you. Thank you, too, again, for being here. I cannot say that enough. You make these channels work. Thank you. I appreciate you. I'm going to end here. Thank you again. See you soon.